In this podcast, we aim to give insights and innovation in current topics in the European manufacturing industry. And as we know, innovation can be spurred on by good policymaking. And in this episode, we will dive into policymaking with Dr. Agne Kudarauskiene, who is Deputy Minister for Education, Science and Sports of the Republic of Lithuania, also independent member of EIT Manufacturing Supervisory Board. Agne, it's really great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for invitation.
So if we talk about digitalization, one of the hot topics in manufacturing has been for years, it still is. We, as Europeans, often look at the Baltic countries for inspiration and best practice examples. So what are some of the policies and incentives that have worked well in Lithuania?
Thank you. That's a good question, and also a good comment that European countries are looking to Baltics. So, of course, Lithuania seeks for great progress in this area. And I would say that already made significant programs in terms of digitalization, driven by various policies, initiatives, and incentives. So just mention some key aspects of Lithuania's digitalization efforts. First of all, we have our national digital agenda, and this agenda it started from 2021 until 2030. And of course, the objective of this agenda is to set the strategic direction of our country's digital transformation.
Yeah.
And of course, it aims on, build a digital economy, also to help the society be more digitalized. And the main areas in this agenda are the infrastructure, skills, digital government, and also cybersecurity. So this agenda really sets the roadmap for our activities in these areas. Also, today in the conference, we discussed and we had a great presentation about artificial intelligence. So this is, of course, the one of the hot topics right now. So I'm happy that my country already established a national AI strategy. And this strategy emphasizes the development and implementation of AI technologies across various sectors. This government prioritized investments in AI research, also in AI development and in training, which is, of course, crucial if we want to take the technology and use it properly. Of course, another thing is cybersecurity, which is also a really huge topic. So, given the geopolitical situation of Lithuania, of course, the war is happening really close to our country. So we really placed a strong emphasis on cybersecurity. And we have policies such as, for example, National Cybersecurity Strategy, which aims to secure a critical digital infrastructure and also, bolster the cybersecurity capabilities of both public and private sectors. So I would say that these are the main digital policies, initiatives that shape our movement towards, better digitalized society and, of course, industry.
Yeah. You mentioned the conference here at the conference, just for our listeners here today. We're recording here at the European Manufacturing Conference in Brussels today, where we're also going very deep into the current topics of the European manufacturing industry. Back to Lithuania, though. You've built a strong foundation for innovation and advanced manufacturing, as well as you've listed also with policymaking. So all these government initiatives supporting also R&D, establishing innovation hubs and these kind of things. What are specific policies or programs that your ministry or your government has championed to support innovation in manufacturing specifically?
Yeah, so if we talk about manufacturing specifically, I just want to mention also a few important initiatives in it. Also related to the first question about digitalization. So, first of all, in 2019, Lithuania established a industry digitalization roadmap, which also includes a lot of aspects that I would say the industry, the government, and all other institutions are following to help the sector grow and also transform better. So of course, this roadmap is oriented towards the smart specialization of Lithuania, and we are already seeing the progress and the results of this roadmap and its implementation. Another maybe important thing is that we really support manufacturing sector and industries transition towards the Industry 4.0, like promoting adoption of technologies such as automation, Internet of Things, robotics, AI, you name it. So one example that is, I would say, helping business to transform itself faster and better. It's the industry digitalization measure, which our country implements. We provide funding approximately 40 million euros. And the purpose of this measure is to encourage industrial SMEs to allocate also their own funds to get the technological audit, which would help them assess the possibilities and prospects of digitalization of production processes, the efficiency and benefits of their investment in the implementation of these digital technologies.
Yeah.
So I would say that this measure is one of the successful example. We see that our SMEs are using it and trying to transform themselves into more digitalized, more green and more effective processes. Another thing that is more like conceptual, and I would say that even OECD recognized this program as an example. We are in the near future will be presenting it to another countries. So this is a program that our Ministry of Education, Science and Sports implements together with the Ministry of Economy and Innovations. This is a joint program. That is called Mission-Based Science and Innovation Program. So what is the purpose and idea of this program? So, well, the main thing is that a big funding of almost 78 million euros from resilience and recovery plan of European Commission will be invested in science and innovation in a purposeful way to tackle and solve societal problems. So this program started some 2 years ago when our ministries started big discussions with industry, with NGOs, with other business companies, trying to understand what are the biggest societal challenges and problems that science and business could unite to solve. So this is a really important program. And after those discussions, it's emerged into 3 missions. So one of the missions is safe and inclusive e-society. So this is what we're talking in this podcast about digitalization.
Exactly, yeah.
Also, skillfully and climate neutral Lithuania and innovations to improve health. So of course we are talking about such disease as cancer and all others that the business and science will help us to solve. So the concept of this program is based on the new practice of European Commission to direct the field of science and innovation to solve the societal challenges. So I'm happy that really the advanced manufacturing, new production processes, materials, technologies, ICT are in those missions, in those three missions that will help, really to see the impact of this collaboration. So I would mention this one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super interesting, and collaboration is one of these themes that pops up every single time we have an episode. Basically, you cannot do anything alone, and I love that you are bringing science and business together here as well. And I love the fact that you mentioned SMEs, because it's something that you talk about companies, and when you think about corporates, you think about the big ones. They're the ones that pop up in your mind very quickly. And it's easy to forget that over 95% of all companies in Europe, it's no different in Lithuania, of course, are SMEs. Yeah, they're the backbone of our economies.
Exactly.
So I love it that you're focusing on SMEs here as well. And I think that we should bring this up more often for in our
Yes,
podcast as well.
most definitely.
Um, Talking about SMEs, or let's switch first to the skills based. You also mentioned this. So one of the many challenges that a lot of countries face is engaging young people in STEM fields, so
Yeah.
science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Um, what specific strategies has Lithuania adopted to foster this interest in these STEM fields?
This is a very good topic, I think, because also when we talk about what the future awaits for manufacturing, for engineering, I think the thing that lies in our head is education, because we can talk about, implementing technologies, about creating innovations, but we all understand who stands behind those technologies. It's a human being and his skills.
Yeah.
So this is the thing that also our government takes into its head. And when we were planning our work for the upcoming decade, we realized that STEAM education is a backbone if we want to provide young people with the right skills to somehow orient them to such important sectors of economy as manufacturing, as engineering in general. First of all, what we realized that there is a huge uneven in between the municipalities. If we, look at the big cities where there are big schools and they have totally different possibilities and investment, it's one story. But if we look at, regions with the smaller schools, with maybe lower possibilities to invest in laboratories and in equipment, then we see another story. But if we want, not only the big cities to thrive and companies who are in the big cities to thrive, but also the regional, we need to think how to create the same possibilities for every student. So our main topic was the equal possibilities for every student, and that's why we created our 2023 to 2030 STEAM strengthening plan. And the strengthening plan is, it provides like an agenda for several years and direction and measures to implement what we want. So first of all, of course, strengthening STEAM education for students, but of course, strengthening the competences of teachers, because, students usually get what the teachers can give. So teachers are at the backbone of this reform. Of course, provide students with practical activities and practical activities in the school. So of course, we needed to invest in laboratories, in all the technological equipment, but also, to provide possibilities to practice in some maybe even real workplaces, maybe use university equipment, maybe use some mobile laboratories that I think all the countries have, like steam buses or something like that. And when I said that we want this to be like equal in each region of our country, so we established STEAM methodological centers that work throughout our country. And these centers they provide methodological support for schools, for teachers, but on the other hand, they also are equipped with necessary laboratories for students to come and to try. Because we have approximately, 1,000 general education schools. To implement a laboratory in every school, it's, I don't know, financially, I would say impossible. But if you have one center in the region, and this center can accept students every day, from morning to evening, and all schools have their own schedule to visit that center, it is possible. So that's what we done, and I hope that it will show, a result, because the results that we're going to see is a bit in the future, when we will see if students are really interested in those subjects, if they choose a vocational training program or a higher education program, a study program in those fields, that then we can say that we did good. But what now I can assure is that students are really motivated, and they are really using those laboratories and trying to learn. Another thing is that we have this, I would say, biggest educational development program in our country's history. It's called the Millennium School Program. And it is also funded by, the Recovery and Resilience Facility. And we allocated, I think, 230 million euros for that. So there are three areas in which we strengthen schools, and one of those three areas is also STEAM. So I would say that our government and schools and all the other partners or NGOs are putting a lot of attention to STEAM education, and I really hope that it will show, our results in the future.
Yeah. So you're focusing on STEAM with the A
Yes.
in there for arts as well, which is of course very interesting. I mean, I have a bit of a linguistics background myself, so also more the A than the the rest of the STEAM letters. And I think it's very important to include everyone in this project, in this initiative. I think to promote also new technologies, because these have to be designed. You have to be creative for these as well. So a very good correction to my question, I would say. So Lithuania also has a growing startup ecosystem, a very strong one actually. That's very closely linked to the innovation landscape. So we were talking about schools a little bit now. How do educational institutions, primarily tertiary education,
Yes.
in Lithuania collaborate with startups and manufacturing players to better prepare students for careers in these sectors, manufacturing sector?
Yeah, that's a good question. And actually, I'm happy that you noticed that startups are really growing in Lithuania. So it means that we have people with good skills, good entrepreneurial and also technological skills to do that. So from the government side, I could say that we also notice that, and Ministry of Education, Science and Sports. So we support science, but also how we understand the science, like research development and innovation. So what we do and what we fund is the prototyping activity where companies, including startups and universities and institutes, can collaborate together and make prototypes. Because as also we are hearing often, it's the same in Lithuania, that we have a lot of scientific production, but a really little of it becomes a product. So that's why
Commercialization is a bit
exactly,
the problem.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why we support this prototyping activity where tertiary education institutions can collaborate with business companies. So this is one thing. Another thing, what those institutions implement themselves together with startups, with SMEs, is the joint projects, and we see that they really actively use various fundings, to collaborate and to create together. And I think when students have this possibility to participate in those kind of projects, it's kind of like a career guidance for them, because they see, how they can somehow transform their theoretical knowledge into something practical, and even to see the product of their theoretical knowledge and some scientific activities. So I would say that it's really important that during that collaboration, students also could have practical experience. Because what we sometimes hear from business companies, from employers, is that, the greatest students with the highest grades are joining the company, and we see that they have no idea how it really works in practice. So if we're talking about startups, if we're talking about, some manufacturing companies, we understand that they don't really have time to re-educate the person, right? So they, of course, want them to be able to come and to work and to bring the value why they hire that person. So I think that collaboration between universities, colleges, and business companies can also help young people who are still studying to understand how everything that they learn in theory works in practice.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you mentioned re-educating, reskilling, and upskilling. It's nevertheless a very important theme as well in manufacturing these days. So given the importance of Industry 4.0 and all of these new technologies, all of these new skill sets that need to be learned, what efforts are being made to update the technical and vocational education to match the evolving demands of the sector?
Yes, I think you touched a very good point, the upskilling and reskilling. It's, I think, the issue that we might discuss in the upcoming European Manufacturing Conference in another few years, because what we see from demographic statistics is really sad news. But not just for Europe, but also for the whole world, is that aging society. So I think I will come back to this a bit later. But now talking about vocational education. So of course, when we talk about vocational education, what we imagine, that initial training when a young person comes into the school, and instead of just learning general subjects, he also learns professional subjects, and after 3 or 4 years, he graduates with a diploma, and he can go straight to the labor market. So this is what we imagine in vocational training. But we are also trying to shift the mindset, is that we need to tailor these services for every learner, because we can, of course, we need to focus on the youngsters for them to choose those professional careers too, because as we see that AI most likely threaten white collar jobs, not the blue collar jobs, right? And we are really trying to, first of all, promote those professions that are really important in manufacturing, like mechatronics, like CNC machine operators, like welders with welding robots, and etc. So this is where we're trying to attract young people and to tell them, well, you don't really need the college education, like 4-year college education, to be successful in the labor market. And most likely your head and hand job will not be replaced by AI in the near future. So this is one thing. And we are trying to really invest a lot for schools to have the most modern equipment. Sometimes we even hear from employers who come and collaborate with schools, and they're saying like, you have the more modern CNC machines that I have in my company. So this is great, and this is great. That means we prepare students with the right skills to go and work. Then another thing is that we need to tailor this, vocational training to people who, for example, already work, but they are thinking about changing their career.
Yeah.
And of course, we're trying to orient them to high added value professions, like I already mentioned, and they almost always are from manufacturing, engineering sector. So, but sometimes they don't need the whole long program, right? If you're an adult and if you want to reskill, you don't usually have possibilities to go to school from 8 to 4 or 5 or something like that.
For another 5 years.
Exactly, for another 5 years. So you need something fast, concentrated, because you usually already have your work experience and general competences that are maybe not that necessary for you. So our vocational training sector is really reorienting itself into providing short programs that are more tailored to adult people, and at the same time they offer some programs for the sectors, because we already talked about SMEs being the biggest part of the manufacturing sector itself. So usually if they transform their production processes, if they transform their technologies, they don't have the possibility to just stop production and to organize trainings for their staff, right? So this, what the vocational training sector is able to do, is to provide services of upskilling of the company's employees. And we have several really great examples where really schools collaborate with such huge companies like Continental Automotive, like Hella, and other investors that, for example, we have in Lithuania, and really collaborate with them, upskilling their employees. So I think that these activities are really the future. If we talk about providing people with the right skills, providing the right skills in quite fast manner, so that the people can work and create value and also earn themselves. So this is, I would say, how vocational education and training can benefit the manufacturing sector. But then as we mentioned before, the upskilling and reskilling with an aging society.
So yeah, you mentioned the aging society. Of course, it's not a a thing of we should, but we have to reskill probably.
Yeah, most definitely. I think if we look at the statistics, it is really pretty sad statistics of the decrease of the labor, the decrease of young people. So, uh, well, what does governments of European countries, if we want to be, innovative, if we want to be able to provide companies with the labor and people with the right skills, uh, most definitely we need to rethink our education system and to put more and more attention into lifelong learning, adult education, because I can tell you an example of Lithuania. So in, I think, recent 10 or 12 years, the number of high school graduates decreased in half. So what does it mean? It means that, half of the population just comes to business companies that are growing, and they need more, but there are less. So this is actually a problem, because every sector of employers that we meet, whether it's engineering, manufacturing, ICT, health, social services, they all say the same, that we are lacking workforce, we are lacking people with the right skills. And unfortunately, the statistics shows that there will not be more. Most definitely, there will be even less. So we need to rethink. First of all, companies need to rethink their policies and their practices in hiring people. Because we sometimes hear that people that are over 55, they sometimes struggle finding a job, right? And a really, really small part of that population just decides one day that, I was like a carpenter all my life, and maybe I should become a mechatronic, right? So, but we need to encourage that point of view for people, because it's the reality that we will live in really soon. I mean, prognosis for 2040, I think, shows that the decrease in labor, in people, number of people with the right skills, will be just drastic. So this is, I think, is not the future, it's today, when we need to make decisions how we will invest in lifelong learning, and how vocational education and training, and also higher education institutions can contribute to this challenge, and to help solve it.
Yeah. No, that's actually a very, very nice wrap up in itself, circling back to how do we manage automation, for example. If we have a lack of workforce, we need to either find people somewhere, or we have to automate more. And how do we reskill? How do we upskill? I mean, we talked about a lot of different and very interesting topics, and in the end, everything came full circle. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you very much for inviting. I think we touched a lot of important topics.
Absolutely. But the future of European manufacturing is bright nonetheless.
Nonetheless. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you're hearing, make sure to subscribe to The Art of Making on the podcast platform of your choice. We're also more than happy to hear from you, so reach out through the EIT Manufacturing website, that is eitmanufacturing.eu, or find us on the usual social media channels. Take care and talk soon.